It's $100 million. Maybe you guys should get some money together, and I'll go down and get it, and you guys can buy me some tickets too.
You got a better chance.
It's $100 million. Maybe you guys should get some money together, and I'll go down and get it, and you guys can buy me some tickets too. You got a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Corey Harrison's life wasn't always about making big deals. His shocking downfall changed everything. From a young age, he seemed destined to run the family pawn shop, learning the tricks of the trade from his father and grandfather. Millions watched him on Pawn Stars, believing he had it all. But what they didn't see was the chaos happening off-screen. What really happened to the man fans once saw as the future of the shop? Tune in because the truth is so shocking, it was the real cause for the TV show to stop airing. The pawn shop that almost didn't exist, the story of the gold and silver pawn shop goes way back, long before reality TV made it a tourist destination. It all started when Corey's grandfather, known as the Old Man, opened a tiny second-hand shop in the early 1980s. He had no idea that his little store on Las Vegas Boulevard would turn into a worldwide phenomenon. Rick Harrison, Corey's father, put in the work day and night, juggling the family business and repossessing cars to keep things running. But life in Las Vegas is anything but predictable. Just when the Harrisons thought they had their footing, a sudden business hurdle forced them to relocate. Before we delve into this, it's clear that the Harrisons' struggles were far more intense than anyone realized. And what happened next would shake the very foundation of their business and family. Once I read this law, it's got to be close to that now for the city proper there. So I started calling the city statistician once a week. Most people don't realize just how hard it was for them to get their pawn license. Thanks to an old city law from the 50s, getting a new pawn shop approved was almost impossible. The only way to get a license was to wait for the city's population to hit a specific number. Rick Harrison was relentless, calling city officials every week, waiting for the magic number to be reached. It finally happened in 1989, and the gold and silver pawn shop officially opened its doors. What started as a small, struggling business soon turned into a financial success, with millions in loans and hundreds of thousands in annual interest income. And with money came fame, but not without its fair share of problems. Reality TV changed everything for the Harrisons. By the mid-2000s, the shop was already a known name among collectors, but it was a TV show pitch that really sent it into the stratosphere. Rick spent years trying to get a show about their shop on the air, facing rejection after rejection. Finally, in 2009, the History Channel took a chance, and Pawn Stars was born. The show turned the Harrisons into celebrities overnight. But the pressure of fame hit one member of the family in ways no one saw coming. While the cameras showed him making deals and cracking jokes, his real life was far more complicated. He struggled with personal demons that weren't visible on TV. Serious health issues, weight problems, and personal relationships crumbled under the pressure of the spotlight. The pawn shop wasn't just a business, it was his entire life. And carrying the weight of a family legacy wasn't easy. Fame and fortune brought plenty of perks. When I first started working the night shift, I didn't have that much experience here, and being the typical 18-year-old kid, I thought I knew everything. And it must have got around town pretty quick, because I bought 6 fake Rolexes. But they also came with expectations, stress, and public scrutiny. As he fought to keep up with it all, cracks started to show. And not everything could be hidden behind the scenes. His weight was one of the first battles he tackled. Growing up in a family that spent most of their time at work meant unhealthy eating habits and little focus on health. But when his weight reached dangerous levels, he made the tough decision to get weight loss surgery. Dropping over 100 pounds completely changed his life. But the path wasn't easy. While he looked healthier on the outside, the internal struggles continued. Weight loss wasn't a magic fix for the stress, the pressure, or the personal struggles that came with being a TV star. Then there were his financial ups and downs. Being a reality TV star means money comes fast, but it also disappears just as quickly. The pawn shop made millions, but living in Las Vegas, surrounded by high rollers and expensive temptations, meant financial trouble wasn't far behind. Business decisions, personal investments, and even friendships all played a role in the constant struggle between success and stability. He wasn't just trying to keep up with the family business, he was trying to prove he could handle the responsibility even when the odds were against him. And let's not forget the personal relationships that took a hit. Fame is tough on marriages, and his was no exception. The pressures of TV life, business demands, and personal struggles created cracks that were impossible to ignore. Divorce and relationship troubles followed, making it clear that being in the public eye wasn't just about making deals on rare collectibles. It was about navigating a world where every mistake was magnified. Despite it all, he kept going. He refused to let the weight of the past drag him down. The pawn shop remained at the center of his life, but he found ways to take control of his future. Whether it was through making better business choices, focusing on his health, or simply learning from his mistakes, he proved that even the toughest battles could be fought and won. But what does the future hold for him now? Just when running the pawn shop was tough enough, something unexpected happened. It turned into a TV show, bringing both big success and even bigger problems. The show that changed a family forever. Back in 2008, nobody thought a simple pawn shop in Las Vegas would turn into one of the biggest reality shows ever. But when Brent Montgomery and Colby Gaines got the idea to bring cameras inside, they knew they had something special. Rick Harrison, always a businessman, jumped on the opportunity. Though HBO wanted a completely different style, a raw, late-night confession series, that idea never took off. But it was a YouTube video in 2009 that really set things in motion. A clip featuring him dealing with wild customers caught the eye of Nancy Dubuque from the History Channel. And just like that, Pawn Stars was born. With a few tweaks to the format, like bringing in experts and making sure the staff's personalities stood out, the show quickly became a hit. Originally called Pawning History, the title got changed to something catchier, and the rest is TV gold. Rick, his father Richard Old Man Harrison, his son Corey Big Hoss, and childhood friend Austin Chumlee Russell became household names. By 2010, the show was pulling in massive ratings, and Rick was even awarded Pawnbroker of the Year. By the next year, it was the highest-rated show on the History Channel, only beaten by the chaos of Jersey Shore. Now, let's be real, this wasn't just a show about buying and selling antiques. You sit here and you tell me all this, where I'm supposed to, like, take this over. But every time I make a decision, you got something to say. Well, yeah, when you make a stupid decision. No, what's the real issue, dude? It was a goldmine for drama. Family feuds, business disagreements, and the never-ending battle between old-school and new-school ways of running things kept viewers glued to their screens. The one expected to be the heir to the empire always clashed with his dad over how things should be done. He wanted to modernize the shop, take risks, and expand its reach, while Rick, ever the cautious businessman, didn't always approve. And of course, Chumlee was there for comic relief, making bad deals and somehow still keeping his job. But beyond the glitz of reality TV, there was trouble brewing. Took things to a whole new level of chaos, turning what should have been a regular night at the bar into something straight out of a bad comedy. Dropping his pants was bad enough, but then he made things even worse by relieving himself on a bar stool as if that was some kind of achievement. As if that wasn't already a disaster, a poor staff member had to clean up his mess with nothing but a towel. And yet, the night wasn't even close to being over. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, he, still in his exposed state, posed for photos with fans. If that wasn't reckless enough, he then grabbed a bar stool and hurled it across the place, making sure his night ended with him being tossed out of the bar for good. When the story hit the public, it wasn't just the bar owners who were furious. Social media exploded with backlash. Fortunately, none of the Playboys were worth any money. Most of them were in really bad condition, and there wasn't a prize in the bunch. "All right, Peach, I'll take care of you. Thanks for coming in." And the flood of negative comments was relentless. Facing immense criticism, he had no choice but to publicly apologize, admitting that this was not his finest moment and that he deeply regretted his actions. But here's the thing, this wasn't just some random isolated incident. This was just another wild chapter in a life full of reckless decisions and public stumbles. That same year, he barely escaped what could have been a life-ending motorcycle accident. While on a simple supply run for his own birthday party, his bike suddenly spun out of control due to a broken fender mount. Forced to make a split-second decision, he threw himself off the bike to avoid an even bigger disaster. Instead of rushing straight to the hospital, he went right back to the party as if nothing had happened. Only later did he finally get medical attention, ending up in surgery to fix his broken hand with 8 screws and 2 metal plates. And if you think that was his only close call, think again. His troubles didn't just exist outside the family, he had no problem stirring things up at home too. Despite working under his father, Rick Harrison, and his grandfather at the family pawn shop, he decided he wasn't satisfied with just being an employee. He wanted a bigger slice of the business, and he wasn't afraid to demand it. Back in the day, he delivered an ultimatum to his father and grandfather: either he got a share of ownership, or he was out. His bold move was even captured on season 7 of the show, where he put his foot down and demanded a 10% stake in the business. The tension was real, but he didn't get everything he wanted. Instead of the 10% he demanded, he settled for a 5% partnership and a promise for a bigger share in the future. Despite not getting exactly what he asked for, the deal was still a win. His net worth shot up to several $1,000,000, proving that sometimes a little family drama can be profitable. But even after securing his place in the business, he continued making headlines for all the wrong reasons. As more people visited the shop just to see the stars, personal problems started growing, showing that some mistakes don't just go away when personal struggles make headlines. Fast forward to the year 2021, and he found himself in another mess. This time, it involved an RV that he rented for what was supposed to be a simple getaway in the California desert. Sounds harmless, right? Well, not exactly. Things took a turn for the worse when he failed to return the RV on time. And when it finally did make its way back, it was in a state that left the owner absolutely shocked. The vehicle wasn't just late, it was completely wrecked. The damage was more than just a little scratch here and there. The RV's awning was torn off, the inside looked like a trash heap, and to make things even stranger, there were eggs scattered all over the place. The owner estimated the damage would cost over $30,000 to repair. And to make things worse, he had to cancel 10 reservations because the vehicle was completely unusable. Instead of taking responsibility, Corey allegedly refused to pay for the damage, forcing the owner to involve the authorities. As if his personal and financial troubles weren't enough, Corey's romantic life has been just as chaotic. Like his father, he hasn't exactly had the best luck when it comes to relationships. His first marriage to his high school sweetheart, Charlene, seemed promising at first. The two tied the knot in 2009, but by 2015, things had fallen apart. While no official reason was given for the split, many speculate that Corey's busy schedule and love for partying played a major role in the downfall of their marriage. But just when it seemed like he was ready to move on, he gave marriage another shot. In 2017, he married Karina, but this relationship also fell apart quickly. The marriage lasted barely a year, though it didn't seem to end on bad terms. What made things even more complicated was that Karina was pregnant at the time of their divorce, later giving birth to their son, Richard Benjamin Harrison. You know, he ended up going broke in '81, and all of a sudden, we're going to move to the land of milk and honey. We're going to move to Vegas. Since then, rumors have swirled about whether the two would get back together, but neither has confirmed anything, keeping their relationship status a question. And just when you thought Corey might be trying to get his life back on track, he found himself in trouble yet again. In the year 2023, he was pulled over in the early hours of the morning after his truck was seen swerving into a bike lane. When officers approached him, they immediately noticed the signs, bloodshot eyes, and the unmistakable smell of alcohol. Corey was asked to take a field sobriety test, which he allegedly failed. Things only got worse from there. When officers tried to conduct a breathalyzer test, the machine wasn't working, so they had to take a blood sample instead. Though the final results of the test remain unknown, the damage had already been done. Corey was arrested and booked for an alleged DUI, adding yet another stain to his already troubled reputation. And while he has had plenty of ups and downs over the years, there are two moments in his life that left a lasting mark on him, two losses that he will never be able to forget. In the year 2018, the Harrison family suffered a devastating blow when the beloved patriarch of the show, Richard Benjamin Harrison, passed away at the age of 77. Known as the Old Man on Pawn Stars, his passing was a heartbreaking moment, not just for his family, but for fans of the show as well. The loss was immense, but unfortunately for Corey, tragedy didn't stop there. The most painful loss of all came when his brother, Adam Harrison, passed away. Though Adam never appeared on the show, he had always been close to the family. Reports later confirmed that Adam died from an overdose at the age of 39, another victim of the ongoing opioid crisis. Corey shared a heartfelt tribute to his brother, posting an old childhood photo of the two of them together, a reminder of the bond they shared. Despite all the fame, money, and success, it's clear that Corey Harrison's life has been anything but smooth. From bar fights and reckless decisions to business drama and personal losses, his story is a constant reminder that no matter how much someone appears to have, no one is immune to life's hardships. And looking at his track record, one can't help but wonder, what's next for Corey Harrison? Did Corey Harrison's life take a turn due to his own choices, or was there something happening behind the scenes that fans were never meant to know? Tell us what you think, and remember to like and subscribe for more.